Welcome to Hinata. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I like it, but we've got that's a one-lander partner. Let's go ahead and ship that one back. Let's go ahead and mulligan. And yes, I like this. We have some ramp. We've got a enabler in Young Pyromancer, and we have some card advantage. So yes, we will definitely keep on this one. And as far as what we're putting down on the bottom, we're actually just probably going to go and put Imperial Recruiter on the bottom, because Imperial Recruiter is usually searching up something like Young Pyromancer, so we've got it in the hand, so we don't have to ship that back. And we've got an interesting partner match today, which I'm excited to see what we've got going on. So let's go and lead off with Command Tower. So we go Command Tower. We can go for Ponder. Actually, I think at this point I'm okay with just kind of holding on to Ponder to set up a Young Pyromancer. Yeah, I'm actually kind of cool with that. So let's just go and make the lane drop with Command Tower, and then pass the turn over to our opponent. So let's go and lead off with Tundra. And then we go Young Pyromancer, and the next turn we go Ponder if we don't hit the lane drop. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, so let's get down Young Pyromancer, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So we're playing Hinata, Dawn Crowned. Flying and Trample, then spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each target. Spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast for each target. And if you heard that meow, that is my production assistant, Dorothy. I had the door slightly closed, and she wanted to come in, and she's like, why did you have the door slightly closed? We need to leave this open at all times. All right, so let's go ahead and shock in Hollowed Fountain. Actually, because we go... Yeah, let's go and shock it in, because that still gives us access to Mystical Tutor and Ponder. Let's get the Production Assistant. There we go. All right, so Production Assistant is by the desk. Our opponent did go for Wardwing Familiar. Spells your opponent's cast that target one or more commanders you control cost 3 more to cast. Okay. So we do have to kind of keep that in mind. Let's go for... So we go Worn Power Stone, enters the battlefield tap. Yeah, let's get some value on the battlefield. I like this. Let's go for Talisman of Creativity. Let's go for Ponder off of Command Tower. That way we can get this Elemental token going on the battlefield. And let's see what's on top of our library. So it's going to be Mana Crypt, Monastery Mentor. Actually, I like all of that, because we're probably going to see some artifacts from our opponent. So let's go Wear Tear on top, Monastery Mentor on top, Mana Crypt on top. Yes, no, not going to shuffle our library. Draw into Mana Crypt and have some fun. Let's go Worn Power Stone. Get down Worn Power Stone, and then turn 3, we've got a little bit of mana, and then anything else past the turn to our opponent. So we've got an interesting partner combination with our opponent's deck. Playing against Eisor. And so, flying, it spells your opponent's cast that target one or more commanders you control, cost 3 more to cast, and has partner. Also looking at Toggo, Goblin Weaponsmith. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Rock. With equipped creature has 1 mana, tap, sacrifice Rock. This creature deals 2 damage to any target and equip for 1. So, if you don't know, Toggo is an absolute delight in Commander. There's no better feeling than getting rock tokens on the battlefield. Yes, we're going to choose tails on this one. Won the flip, so we're 1 for 1 on those. But yes, Toggo, that's some good magic right there. All right, so we're looking at, we should have enough sources to get the entire crew down, and I think we're okay with that. So let's go Monastery Mentor first. It's going to be 1, 2. Now, the only downside is this does cut us off going for Mystical Tutor. And we can go for Hinata next turn. Yeah, let's do this, because if we end up tapping out completely... Yeah, I like this. Let's just go and pass the turn. We could get our commander down, but if for some reason our opponent's running, Blasphemous Act or some sort of board wipe and they clear it out, if we get down Hinata and they just wipe our entire Spellslinger package, it's not going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to leave up Mystical Tutor. All right, opponent's just going to go for Toggo. And then next turn we're going to go for Hinata. Because one of the nice things about Hinata is that, you get that bonus when it's just on the battlefield. It doesn't need to have haste. It's not an attack step or whatever. And our opponent's going to target their... Oh, look at that value. They're going to target Darksteel Citadel. And while they're doing this, let's go and go in response. Let's go Mystical Tutor. Let's go and get some triggers on the stack. There we go. Get Prowess, get Young Pyromancer, get an Elemental token. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to grab something that's, that kind of helps us out with Hinata. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to go for Open into Wonder. And unfortunately, so we're kind of at a weird spot with Open into Wonder. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's get this popped up of the reveal zone. So we definitely would love to get Hinata down and be able to go open into Wonder, but at this point right now, if they're going to be tapped out, yeah, let's get the rock token on there. If we can go open into Wonder, then that's going to be some pretty good card advantage for next turn. Yeah, I kind of like that. So let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. One the flip, click OK. And yeah, I think we just tap out for this because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's enough for the entire crew. I definitely don't mind drawing a ton of cards. So let's go and target across the board on this. We're still going to get a Monastery Monk token too. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go and click OK. So it's going to be double blue. And then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll tap down for 1 off of Talisman. Okay. All right, so we're going to make all of these creatures unblockable, and whenever they... oh, there we go. Let's get our triggers on the stack. Whenever they swing in and deal combat damage, we're going to be able to cash in a card draw, which I do like that a lot. So let's go and always yield to that trigger. Always yield, and always yield. Click OK on that. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. And we're going to get Prowess, too. All right, so they can't be blocked, and whenever they deal damage, we're going to get some card advantage. Let's go and push in with the crew. That's going to drop them down at least 5, 7, 8, 9. So I think it drops them down to 31. So let's get some card advantage. All right, so we are hitting a... There we go. I'm digging that. Okay, so we get some good land drops going. Let's drop in Flooded Strand. And what we're going to do on this is we're simply just going to go and pass the turn. If our opponent ends up going for a rock activation onto Monastery Mentor, what we can do is in response to that, we can go for Brainstorm or Anticipate. And that'll give us the option. Look at these rock tokens. They're coming. I love it. They're building up. Our opponent, yeah, we're definitely... This deck is... this deck is definitely not rock friendly. We've got a lot of 2/1s and a lot of 2/2s that are spell slingers. So yeah, the rock tokens are definitely something that we need to keep in mind. So, but yeah, so anyway, what we can do is in response to an activation off of a rock token, we can prowess our monk tokens, or at least Monastery Mentor, if they target it with a rock token. All right, so they're going to go for Young Pyromancer. The first rock is down. Yeah, because with the prowess, this creature, yeah, and our monk tokens. Okay, all right, so they're going to be able to take down Young Pyromancer. So I guess in response to that, let's go and go for, let's go Brainstorm. That way we can shuffle some stuff away and still get some pretty good card advantage. Let's get these triggers on the stack. Because if we can get the monk tokens going, we'll definitely be good. All right, so let's get this elemental token off of Young Pyromancer. Okay, so Mass Manipulation. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and put Thirst for Discovery on top. Let's put Imperial Recruiter on top. And I think at this point, since we do have Anticipate, we'll probably end up shuffling before we go to our turn. But with Mass Manipulation, I'm kind of digging that. And unfortunately, we just got off to such a quick mana start that we don't really necessarily need to get our commander down. But we'll see what we can do. But let's go and crack Flooded Strand once we get to our end step. And, you know, this does leave us... And actually, yeah, they can't go for the rock token, and we still have Anticipate on Toggo if they go for the rock during our upkeep. So, we're still in a good spot. So let's go and go Flooded Strand. We'll see if they want to end up going for the activation if they want to or not. Let's grab ourselves a Steam Vents, have that come into play tap. Not going to pay 2. And then... see what we rip into for the turn. But yeah, if they end up going for rock token, we've got it with Anticipate. So let's go and choose Tails on this one. One the flip. And then we draw into Aurelius Fury. Which, yeah, I like that. So let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Island. So we go for Hinata. So we could go Mass Manipulation. But I kind of like hitting the reset button on their... Yeah, I like this. So let's do this. All right, so we're going to go for our commander. This is going to give us a pretty cheap Aurelius Fury. So let's go Aurelius Fury. We're going to target them. That's going to cost 1 less. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And we definitely have enough for that. That's going to tap those creatures down. And do we want to dump some into our opponent? So it's going to be... Actually, I think let's see how this is. Let's go and click OK. That's going to be 2 less. So that's just going to be 4. Oh, excuse me. All right, so we're getting the, I forgot, we're getting the tax from Wardwing. Okay, so that was a little bit of goof up on my part on that one. So if we end up going Mass Manipulation, all right, so yeah, sorry about that. That was a mix-up on my part. All right, so we have that colorless mana floating. I thought we had Aurelius Fury, but it is the It's the Toggo I forgot they have the ward option out there. So let's do this. Let's just go and pass the turn. Let's go and swing in. We can swing in with the Monastery Monk tokens, but that'll cut us off of leaving up Anticipate. All right, so let's just go to combat on this. Let's go ahead and swing in with... Yeah, let's do this. Let's go and swing in with the entire crew. We'll swing in with the Monk tokens. We're going to leave up Monastery Mentor. And then we can leave up Anticipate as sort of a buff on Toggo. So let's see what they end up going for. They end up going for the rock activation or not. We're going to knock them down to 22. And then anything else, no. We're simply just going to go and pass the turn because we can go for Aurelius Fury as a little bit of a buff on Toggo. So they're going to go for the rock activation. Yeah, so we tried to end up going for the... Yeah, let's go Anticipate in response to that. Let's go and get the Prowess trigger going. And then we run into Teferi's Protection. And then Esper Sentinel. So let's go and put Teferi's Protection in our hand. And then the rest on the bottom in any order. That's going to be 2 damage, which is going to make Monastery Mentor survive. I think at this point, what we'll probably end up doing is we're simply just going to go ahead and pass the turn. Because we've got Aurelius Fury that we can burn. Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on Teferi's Protection mana. But... yeah, I feel like we can still survive a rock token from our opponent. If they want to end up going for the double rock activation and double rock throw, they certainly can. But yeah, with that Aurelius Fury line of play, what happened was I totally forgot about the spells your opponents cast that target one or more commanders you control cost 3 more to cast. And so I knew that we had the... I knew that we had enough mana for Aurelius Fury, and I was like, wait, why does it cost more? And then I forgot that we've got double commanders costing 6 extra mana, so that was a little bit of a bummer on that one. All right, so we do have Aurelius Fury to dump a Monk token, but I think at this point we might be able to just mass manipulate on this one and gain control of their commanders, and I think I kind of like that. So we'll see how much mana that's going to be. We'll definitely keep in mind of the additional cost that our opponent does have. So let's go and drop an island. We can tap them down if we want to. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 11. And then that's going to be 15. And that's going to be 19. So let's see how much mass manipulation is if we gain control. But unfortunately, we can't gain control of Shimmer Dragon. And that's going to be 5. That's going to be 9 total mana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, yeah, I do like that. So let's go mass manipulation. Okay, so let's get these prowess triggers on the stack, because we might be able to kind of grind this out against our opponent if we get these prowess triggers going. So let's go on, always yield to these prowess triggers. So we're going to gain control of these 2. There we go. So we got some commanders over here. And if we want to buff the board with some more prowess, we can just Aurelius Fury. I think I kind of like that. So let's go and swing it with the entire crew. We're going to hold off on Monastery Mentor. And then, yeah, they can stop us with Hinata if they want to, because that's going to be... And actually, yeah, we're going to swing in Monastery Mentor because we might be able to get it on this one. Because we've got a blank Aurelius Fury if we wanted to, just for 0. All right, so opponent's going to block on our commander. Let's go Aurelius Fury. Click OK, because we just want to get the buff on this one. And so we're going to go tap down white, tap down red. Let's go and get these prowess triggers on the stack. All right, so we're going to swing in, and then, yes, we're going to return our commander back to the command zone. Okay, and then anything else, they are down to 2. Anything else, we pass the turn to our opponent. So we've got Toggo. We've got our opponent's other commander. They do have Shimmer Dragon, which they're going to be able to cash in some card draw. But with Toggo, we've got the land drop of Wooded Foothills, and we should be able to throw a rock at our opponent. We'll see what they have. If they've got a board wipe, they've got it. But between combat damage and throwing a rock at our opponent, we might be able to get this done. So, but yes, and also I do want to say this is like the first game that I'm playing with Hinata, and so if my lines of play were a little kind of like, that's it. This is the first game that I'm playing, so it's nice to see it function like this, and it's also very interesting to play against a commander partner that completely negates Hinata's ability to target your opponent's stuff with that reduced cost. So, but anyway, yeah, this is the first game that we're jamming. So what we'll probably end up doing, they're drawing cards. They are potentially getting into the untap all artifacts so they can go for that. So we'll see what we can do. If we want to, I think what we'll try to do is set up the Toggo line of play. Let's see what we draw into first for the turn. So it's going to be 3 damage for Mana Crypt. They're going to go for the card draw. The good thing is, if they do have Cyclonic Rift somehow, if they dig into Cyclonic Rift, we still got Teferi's Protection to stop that from happening, from sending everything back to the hand. So yes, we're going to choose Tails on this one. We're going to force the issue with Toggo before we go to the combat step, because even if they don't have Cyclonic Rift, and they've got something along the lines of, alright, so Reality Heist. Okay, so look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 artifact cards from among them, put them in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so that's good. And they do have to reveal, so we'll see what that is. But yeah, so we're going to force the Toggo line of play, and that's going to be Moon, Silver Key, and then Sol Ring. Okay, nothing too scary on that one. And they should be out. All right, there we go. Opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. Yeah, so we got the land drop for the turn. We've got Toggo to kind of throw that rock at our opponent, get them down to 2. But yeah, this is what we're trying to do with Hinata. You know, we don't have this crazy deck that's super worried about, you know, going Voltron on Hinata. You know, we're simply just building this Jeskai Spellslinger deck, and then being able to use stuff like Mass Manipulation, Aurelia's Fury. We have a lot of other good X spells in here that really do work out with Hinata, but you can see we're simply just open into Wonder. This is a great spell for a deck like this. You know, being able to have Hinata down, tap down for blue mana to make your entire board state unblockable, and go for card advantage. That's a really good thing. You can see where, you know, even though we didn't have our commander down, even though we got off to a very quick mana start, that's pretty much what we'd be doing, just getting down Hinata, being able to use something like Open into Wonder, Aurelia's Fury to tap the board down, and just get some really nice value. But those monk tokens really put in some work. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.